Introducing Instagram Teen Accounts, a new way to keep your teen safer as they grow, like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, sweetie pie, buckle up. Good job.
Or ring the bell on their bike.
Okay, kid, give it a try. Nice.
Or remember their elbow pads.
Knees too, okay? Yep. There you go.
New Instagram Teen Accounts. Automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop with your host, Dawn McClain, from the adventures of Bradley and Dawn on My Talk 1071, Garage Logic's newsman, Mr. FYI, John Haidt, and the crabbiest guy in the coffee shop, Kenny Olson.
Jim Realbird was driving downtown in his blue pickup truck, the one with braided sweetgrass on the dashboard, when he saw something that made him immediately do a U-turn. 2 girls, maybe 14 at the most, riding horses bareback to the gas station. Now, this isn't going to get weird, so stay with me here, okay? They had bridles, and their jeans were all faded from riding, he tells me, remembering the moment. If you ride enough, your jeans will be worn right from where you contact the horse. He saw their jeans and thought, maybe these could be my warriors. At this point, I'm really intrigued. Every day, everywhere he goes on the Crow Reservation in Montana and beyond, Realbird, a 67-year-old rodeo horse trainer, looks for warriors. He and his 3 brothers, all members of the Crow tribe, host an annual reenactment of a clash between Indians and federal forces that happened on their land almost 150 years ago, the Battle of the Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand. Didn't we bring that up last week? We did.
Yes, because I went to the Black Hills and went through Custer State Park where all of this went down.
Yeah, west of there, actually, on the Little Bighorn River. And I was grousing, I think, about the fact that when you go up on the battlefield and you can tour the battlefield, you're not able to see the incredible Indian village that was down there, down the hill and on the other side of the river. And I just learned completely by accident, I didn't go looking for this, it just came up, that they do a reenactment every year, and I know where I'll be in the end of June of next year. I got to go to this. I got to go see this.
Yes. So he's looking for actors, stunt actors.
Yeah, the story goes on, and it's the story about how the fact that less and less Native Americans now are interested in the traditions of their elders, and he's having a harder and more difficult time finding male, what he calls warriors, and they tell us what it takes to become a warrior in the Native American terms, and it's actually pretty tough these days because there's really no more battles other than overseas battles if you join the U.S. military, and a lot of natives kind of frown on that, because it's supposed to be within your own tribe and not the United States that conquered and vanquished you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. Anyway, I just thought that was a really interesting and strange coincidence. And then
your phone's listening to you. That's what it is.
Do you think so?
Go on. Yes. Not to bring the party
100%
down.
it is.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I'm sitting here minding my own business, ignoring whatever I'm supposed to be doing at the moment. I look over to the TV to my left, which has Channel 9 on all the time, and I see about 20 knuckleheads on unicycles. I don't know if it was yesterday. It might have been Monday.
Oh, for God's sake.
And
we can't get rid of these guys.
I sent a little clip via Twitter to you, Dawn.
Yeah.
It turns out, here, do you have the story, John? I don't have a lot of information on it, but there's some sort of convention right now.
I don't have a lot of details, but it's in Bloomington, and it's the NAUCC convention, and it started on the 16th. So it started Sunday and it goes till Saturday. So it's a week-long gathering of unicyclists.
What could they possibly be doing?
Just riding around in circles.
I know they have competitions where, you can race and go uphill, and I don't know if they joust or have fist fights or anything fun.
Oh my God, fist fights! Fist fights!
That's the only thing that would interest me, if they actually, beat the hell out of each other.
Or just a slap fight.
Yeah, slap fight. Or maybe a wiffle ball bat fight, you know, those plastic wiffle ball bats.
Yeah. Truly, I am a nerd and would probably at some point in my life get into this because we know that I like to do weird stuff. So it's all really just a joke. It's like, I don't hate unicyclists. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, I do.
It's just, a funny thing you would do in a comedy routine.
There's 6 different things that they do at this convention. Did you know there's 6 different skills?
Do they do any of them naked? Are any of them naked?
Well, one of them's called freestyle. Maybe if you freestyle, maybe you could be naked. The other one is mountain unicycle races, the Muni, they call that. Road races, team events like hockey and basketball. They play hockey and basketball while they're on unicycles, which would be interesting.
Still not fascinated.
No, how about urban? I don't know. I suppose you ride through town. I have no idea what's going on there.
How about if you take the seat off your unicycle and then ride it?
That's a different event.
Yeah, completely.
It happens in Las Vegas every year, and it's being filmed.
There's a whole website devoted to that.
I saw your tweet, Kenny, and it was. I noticed that some of them were like holding hands or helping each other balance, and I'm like, that's not allowed. I'm already judging it. And I'm like, no, if you can't, solo unicycle, that's what it's all about. If you need a friend to hold your hand, you can't join. So you guys, this would be so physically taxing. Do you know if any of us tried to do unicycling, we would be so sore?
That doesn't matter.
You'd have to have a lot of core strength, and right now, that's not a strong point for me.
A lot of times I can have empathy for people and put myself in their shoes, but in this case, not at all. I don't care.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying we're criticizing something that we probably couldn't do physically.
That's fine. That's fine. And I'm willing to take it to the next level, and you 3 are very creative. I'm hoping you can help me come up with some slogans for my protest signs, because I'm going to go down there and I'm going to protest outside of wherever it is. But I want some fun, interesting slogans that we could maybe, take the seat off and you'll impress me, stuff like that.
Oh, boy. You won't get kicked out. Well, I guess it's a peaceful protest, but oh, God. Right now, let's see.
Yeah, there's nothing. I'm not going to do it.
I wish I could think of some clever signs.
Not a lot that comes to mind either.
I have better things to do. I wouldn't even actually go down there to boo them. That's how uninterested I am.
Or how about a sign that just says, I have better things that you could do solo? That's a lot more fun.
It doesn't involve pedals, but it might involve stirrups.
And some chains.
So those 2 items I just thought were interesting, since we talked about both of them last week, and then they just appeared out of nowhere this week.
The world is happening around us. It's crazy.
I think the story of the day is actually something Ross came across, and it's a story that was posted on Money Inc. in March of this year. And you guys know I love lists.
Oh, yeah. The
20 worst places to live in Minnesota.
Oh, great. I did see this, but please tell us what the...
Well, some of them, like the top 5, no-brainers, really easy. But a lot of them don't make any sense. Like number 20, coming in last at number 20, Brainerd, of all places.
I like Brainerd.
Yeah, it's all right. It's kind of relaxing in the winter and super busy and insane during the summer.
And lakes and all that fun stuff.
Property crime rate comes in at a fairly respectable 3,380 incidents per 100,000 people. The real problem, violent crime.
In Brainerd?
In Brainerd.
What are they mad about? That they
No
live
kidding.
in Brainerd?
The other one,
Just kidding.
number 19, and I guess this doesn't surprise me, but we all call Fridley friendly. Not so much. Property prices in Fridley might be low for Minnesota, but you'll want to resist the temptation of buying there if you value your savings, as well as boasting some of the lowest incomes in Minnesota or in the Minneapolis metro area. The city has one of the worst unemployment rates in the region. So this is all based on stats and statistics and crime and taxes and unemployment. It's not things like the people are really ugly here. They just all have a weird thing, a weird tick going, or things growing out of their face.
Oh, no.
Number 18,
Or hairy
Duluth.
backs.
Yeah, or hairy backs, right. Or neck beards. Or man buns.
Man buns are fine.
Man buns. A lot of man buns.
Have you
There's a lot of man
transitioned?
buns now.
Have I transitioned? No.
Are you a man bun lover?
Yeah, I always have been. But
Really?
unless they're like douchey and they're like hipsters. I guess they're all hipsters.
This is an argument, Kenny, that has escaped all of us because they're so numerous now. Everybody has them. You can't get away from them.
I just want them to unleash it and let me see what they've got, you know?
Isn't that what life's all about?
Really, really bad.
I knew if I kept quiet long enough,
I think that.
she'd say something.
Oh boy. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
There was a Heather Locklear ad, right, where she was doing
she
that in her
just- yeah,
hair.
you
Yeah, that's
just
what you want to see with
shake it out.
the bros.
Yeah, I just want to see what it's like.
My brother-in-law Larry has one. Larry's my age, and I really, really, really like his wife. She's awesome. But the reason he has it is because she likes it. And this has put into question my whole relationship with the two of them. I just don't know anymore. I don't think I trust his wife, Carrie. And as for Larry, I've never really trusted him. Well, we took him to the races with us a couple of weeks ago, and we were tailgating, and I found myself apologizing to our neighbors for my brother-in-law's hair.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's not a bun. It's not a bun. It's a ponytail.
Okay. Is it a mullet ponytail?
No.
Or is it a full head of hair that's all at one length?
He's got a full head of hair.
Okay, good.
But then he grabs the middle part and puts the ponytail so it sticks up, but then goes back down because it's really long hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does he twist it around like a bun?
No, he doesn't do the
Then
bun.
it's not a man bun. It's just a ponytail.
But it's the same thing to me. The ponytail's in the wrong place. Put the ponytail down at the base of your skull where it belongs. And if you have to, run it out of the hoop. This part. The hoop in your hat. Right there.
Now, but see, I don't know. The man bun is way better. A ponytail just looks like, especially out of the back of your hat. That's like country creepy.
Is it possible?
It's just like put it up on top because it looks better.
Is it possible your issue, KO, is more with the long hair than it actually is with the ponytail or
Ross,
the bun?
I used to have hair that went right down to my waist.
I know.
Yeah. So
That's why it throws me.
I don't have any issues with long hair on dudes whatsoever. But this man bun ponytail thing is in the wrong place.
You just want them to let it loose and just let it.
I'd rather just see
out?
the long hair. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also still, to this day, have an issue with the backwards hat.
It serves no purpose.
Every time I see the backwards hat, I want to wipe it right off the head of the person, and including your son, John.
Yeah.
Dill does that. I'm convinced Dill does it on purpose when he's around me.
I think he does because at home he never wears it backwards. He wears it just like you're wearing one right now.
What a bastard.
Oh my gosh. Well, is it when he's performing so he can see the crowd or what?
No, he's got short hair.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying the bill of the hat. Does it get in the way? Or why does he just wears it like that to annoy Kenny?
I think to annoy
so.
Kenny because
Okay.
I have many pictures of him when he went out on tour and played guitar with the band, and they're almost all forward-facing hats. So I think it's just to annoy Kenny.
The only time you get to wear your hat backward in my world is if you're on a motorcycle and you're not wearing a helmet. and then you have to turn it around. Otherwise, your hat flies off.
Or a boat. If you're in a boat.
On a boat, right. Yeah. Anytime you're in danger of your hat flying off.
Or if you're trying to avoid a sunburn on your neck, because that's really sucks. I don't know.
Okay, so now we get to a different matter. What do you think about those hats that have the skirt on the back to prevent you from getting a sunburn?
The skirt?
Yeah.
Do I even know what that looks like?
Yeah,
Dawn,
it's the floppy hats.
It's middle-aged sandal-wearing men that usually wear these things.
Dawn, it's the hats where people look like they're heading into, like, be a beekeeper. That's got, like, the side and the back to it.
I'm glad Kenny said that because I have a brother who wears one of those hats who also always wears sandals, strangely enough.
Yeah.
And I don't tease him about the hat. I do tease him about the sandals.
Yeah. It's the kind of guys that'll pay $5,000 for a canoe, that crowd.
Oh, I see. It's like, let me show Ross a picture. I know this is a broadcast and you can't see, but it says Cooling Sun Defender
that's
hat.
it.
Okay.
Yep, that's what he's talking about.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it's a hat skirt.
Okay.
How do you feel about the bucket hat, Kenny? The one where it just kind of goes all the way around with a brim. Is that okay?
It's okay because it's so ridiculous.
Thank you.
And I think the people that wear them realize this is a ridiculous hat, and that's why it's worn.
I wear one golfing or when it's incredibly hot, and I'm well aware that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's probably 20% of the reason why I wear it.
I'm just trying to picture Ross with one of those on, and I think I don't like it.
I think the youngsters wear them for that reason. They think it's cool because they think it's ironic because it looks goofy. I think that's why all the young
and
kids are wearing
stoners, maybe. They just want to isolate their little stoner world.
On a sunny day, though, it really does help if it's hot. To Don's point, it keeps the sun off the back of your neck.
Yeah.
They say there's some hats that make your head cooler. I don't see how that could possibly be the case.
No, your head gets hot.
Yeah, no matter what.
Insulating the heat.
We were in the middle of a list, you know that.
That was hat talk there. We went to hat talk for about 5 minutes.
Number 17, Maplewood. I lived there for a while. I agree. West St. Paul. A lot of murders in West St. Paul. That's number 16. You don't care about any of these, do you? Anoka, Halloween capital of the world.
Hey, it's next to me.
Yeah, they come in at 15. Why is that? Let's see here.
Is this all the country people judging this because they're like, city folks suck. City, I got to move out where there's a bunch of white people.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, the truth.
Number 15, according to the latest FBI data, Anoka has a crime rate that is higher than 86% of the state's other cities.
Wow.
What? Anoka?
86%.
I think Dawn's right. I think that they're making this crap up.
Yeah.
Spring Lake Park, isn't that kind of a neighbor of Anoka?
No, it's further up the road toward. It's a neighbor of Fridley. It's just north of Fridley.
Highway 65, that area.
Yep, exactly.
That's number 14, Jordan, Minnesota. Lovely Jordan. Yeah, it's south of Shakopee on 169.
That's
Dawn.
where that candy barn is.
It's the country.
Yeah.
But that comes at number 13. Why? For start, there's almost nothing to do here. Even if there were places to go and things to see, people wouldn't have the money to do either. The unemployment rate, 5.5%, is one of the worst in the entire Minneapolis areas. That sounds made up. Virginia, Minnesota, that's up on the Iron Range.
Iron Range, yeah.
Yeah, that must be meth. Number 11, Albert Lee. Wait a minute, Albert Lee, is that where Hormel is? Albert Lee?
Yeah, down right on the border.
Yeah.
Right?
What the hell's wrong with Albert Lee?
Well, tell us. You got the list.
I don't care enough. South St. Paul. I should have. Oh, that's where Matthew lives.
It is.
And
yes.
we have a good friend that's the mayor of South St. Paul. Oh, we better read this. This St. Paul suburb of South St. Paul isn't the kind of place you'd want to live if you value your job prospects.
Oh, my gosh.
The unemployment rate is one of the worst in the Minneapolis area. Compared to the Minnesota standard, the average median income is no great shakes either. Well, that's kind of ambiguous. Yeah. Number 9, Glencoe. That's west. If you're a man, you might not have too many problems in Glencoe. For a woman, it's a different story. The city ranks as the worst city for women in Minnesota. According to their research, women have an unpleasantly high chance of living in poverty and being uninsured. For every dollar that men make, women make just 58 cents. Wow. Only 28.7% of management positions are held by women. And more bad news, 21.5% of the female population of the city are living below the poverty line. I feel like I could work for this publication. They're so negative. I think I could do a really good job for them.
Also, can I just quickly point out on this list, the whole thing seems very random. If your prospects were that bad in one town, are they really that much better if you just move to the next big city 5 miles down the road?
Exactly. And the only reason we're doing this list is so we can get to number 1. Number 8 is Columbia Heights. Again, that's Highway 65, just north of Minneapolis proper. Waite Park, that's kind of a St. Cloud suburb. Number 6, and I'm surprised it's so high on the low on the list, high on the list. Number 6, you'd think it would be number 2, Brooklyn Center, and that's due to median income. It doesn't say anything about crime though. Oh, the crime rate is far from pretty. That's all they say. St. Cloud, number 5. That doesn't shock me. This one shocks me that it's not 1, 2, or 3. It's number 4, Minneapolis. Number 3, Bemidji, which was the setting for Fargo, was it not? The home of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, now ranks as one of the most dangerous cities in the state.
Oh, jeez.
Crime rates, yeah. Number 3 is not a city. It's a neighborhood in South Minneapolis known as Hawthorne. Total crime rate in the Hawthorne neighborhood of Minneapolis, 448% higher than the U.S. average.
Ouch.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's South Minneapolis. They don't mention anything about the north side. And, of course, number 1, Joe Souchere's hometown, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, that's the worst. Okay, so if I find St. Paul, I think I'm more of a St. Paul person because I live over on, I find it easier to navigate and I just do a lot more in St. Paul.
So you generally walk around feeling like you're picked on all the time. Everybody always picks on you and bullies you because that's how you have to feel if you live in St. Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when there's a national event in St. Paul, the national media will refer to it as Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a Dallas-Fort Worth thing.
Yeah, and St. Paul people hate that. St. Paul might claim to be the most livable city in America, but research suggests otherwise. The city is the center of a huge crime wave. Crime, especially violent crime like robbery and homicide, can greatly detract from the quality of life in any city. In St. Paul, there were 651 violent crimes for every 100,000 people. Oh, 651. That's the area code, isn't it? More than double the violent crime rate of 238 incidents per 100,000 across the rest of the state. So there you go. Congratulations, St. Paul and the mayor of St. Paul and all the citizens within. You guys are losers.
Oh, my God. I know that the only bad thing I've heard about St. Paul is that the snow removal is really bad just because the infrastructure, the streets are too,
Yeah, too tight.
Too small, and they can't plow.
According to Jesse Ventura, the former governor, the streets were laid out by drunk Irish people, right?
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that what he said? Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
How about all text? You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
It's my contention, if you hate Sundays, you also hate your job.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I would agree. Yeah. Ross sent us this article, Move Over Monday. Sunday is the new worst day of the week. A lot of social media users agree. There are Reddit threads around this. It used to be, there's so many songs like I don't like Mondays, Rainy Days and Mondays Get Me Down. What is that song? Just a lot of songs about how Mondays suck, and we always are like, I hate Mondays. Garfield said it forever. But new studies reveal that people actually hate Sundays more. I find there's something in this article that really kind of bothered me, though.
What's that?
They list the reasons why. Like, of course, you're dreading Monday, as in the next day you have to go to work. Sleep discontinuity.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you don't get as much sleep. Your sleep's all wacky over the weekend. Our brain's strategies to cope with stress and just boredom. I don't know about boredom. I don't.
No.
I'm not bored. I don't think I've ever said I'm bored. I'm always trying to find I have too many things rolling around in my head that I want to do, and there isn't enough time. But how do you feel about Sundays?
A lot different now that I live here. Actually, don't ask me. Ask yourself. How do you feel?
Ask yourself.
Because I really want to know your opinion. Because I really want to know if you really truly like your job. That's my question. Actually, never mind the Sunday thing. How much do you hate your job, Dawn? That's what I want to know.
I don't hate my job at all. I feel very lucky to have my job. That's the truth.
Oh.
Well, he wants me to say I hate it.
That's not the answer I was hoping for.
In general, I would prefer not to work. I mean, people that say that when they win the lottery, they would still continue to work. I'm like, okay, well, we can't be friends because I think that it's fantastic to not work.
So you don't mind Sundays then?
I don't mind Sundays. I think that you have to, this sounds very Pollyanna, but you can't ruin a day of your weekend because you're dreading the next day. You have to enjoy it. You have to live in the moment and find something to do. I mean, you only have a couple of days and you're going to X out one of them by just not liking it, just in general. I think that's stupid, but I don't know.
Do you do show prep on Sunday?
Yeah, I do. Like Sunday nights. I'm already working Sunday night.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So this article goes on to say, there are Reddit threads. I hate Sundays. I think they're depressing. This is just a bunch of people that really do. I think, Kenny, you would like this one just because a masterpiece of a refined hate is how this is mentioned. And then one user says, I hate Sunday until I was well into middle age, and then he traces the roots of the hatred back to childhood in which religious and family obligations took up the time in the shadow of the impending Monday. It poisoned the day for him. So if you can think back when you did come into the office, did you hate Sundays?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I hated Sundays, but it had nothing to do with work. It had everything to do with where I lived. I lived in South Minneapolis. I would come up here every weekend. And on Sundays, you have to go home. You have to go back to the Twin Cities. And traffic is just a bear from 12 noon until 6, 7 o'clock at night on Sundays, getting back into town. What I did to solve that is I wouldn't leave here until the sun was going down, until it was getting dark, so 8 o'clock. And that solved the problem of traffic, and that helped me out a lot. But the truth was, and I'm not kidding, I was severely depressed Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening is when it would start getting better for me because you start thinking about the weekend. And for me, seriously depressed and John can confirm this, that for me translates into just rage and anger, just being pissed off all the time, just being angry because I just hated my situation. But now, oh my God, I don't mind it at all. And I'm lucky enough that I have a job where I don't have to think about my job on the weekend. It would be different if I had to do Crabby on Monday. But since it comes up Wednesday, I don't even have to think about Crabby. And when I do, it's by accident.
Right. You're like, oh, that's happening today.
Right.
Yes.
Sam Ross always sends us the Sunday or the list for Crabby.
He does.
Sundays,
but, and I solved that by taking my work email off my phone.
Oh, my gosh.
So for me, the only issues I have on Sunday are, like you said, Dawn, getting to bed early enough to where I can get a full night of sleep and wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Oof, gosh,
John,
that's right.
You being
early.
retired, I'm guessing, or semi-retired.
Yeah. Sundays have always been my favorite day. even when I was a kid, just because it was the day you'd go out and just have a ball, especially in summer. And then by the time I grew up, I was playing bands and stuff. So Sunday was my day of leisure. So, Friday and Saturday and the work week was over. So Sunday was the day. Plus, I'm kind of a sports geek. So, football, etc., baseball. That was always the day, catch up on all that. So I've always loved Sundays.
Before I was married, and I was living life to the fullest, a Sunday the drinking would start at 9 a.m. and go right until bar close. Seriously, midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Well,
it looks like 76% of Americans and Canadians experience inexplicable bouts of sadness known as Sunday syndrome. With frequency, German and Swedish scientists suggest that Sunday, not Monday, is the saddest day of the week, and Friday, not Saturday, is the happiest. I disagree with that. I don't know why. It's not like I'm plowing a field all week. I am so exhausted on Friday. Like, there's no happy fun time. I just fall asleep like super early.
Same.
Yeah.
My
100%.
body is worn out from just, I don't know what, talking? Getting up and driving to work? Come on.
No, Dawn, it's the mental stuff. You're using your brain too damn much. That's the problem with our jobs.
Yeah.
You can't turn it off, and you're always doing show prep. Always doing the show prep.
Yeah, I will admit, like today, driving in, it's not that I didn't want to do this. It's just that I didn't feel like talking.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just don't feel like talking, and you just want to sit there and veg out. And that's why the whole people are bored, there's nothing to do on Sunday. I'm like, no, I love to just sit there and make my mind blank. And just stare out. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I get a chance to do that. So Sunday's a perfect day for that, if you wanted to do it. And then you just I don't know, you just might not have an opinion on something, but you have to force it. And I'm like, man.
What I
For
found,
me, I have to talk for my job. I just feel so guilty saying that. But,
I shouldn't admit this. I will. It's no secret. I don't have a lot of opinions about stuff, but yet I work on a show where I have to. Yeah. So sometimes I make up opinions just to piss John off.
It's true. And see, it took me, how many years have I known you? 20-something. And it's taken me this long to finally figure out that's what he's doing.
What is the thing that he loves to annoy you with the most, John?
Lately, it's been COVID. And the jab. And something else.
Yeah.
Mostly COVID and black helicopter stuff, too.
Yeah, conspiracy. He loves conspiracy.
I
hate conspiracy.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? Why, John?
I hate conspiracy theories, let's put it that way.
You do? And why is that?
Well, because I think a large portion of our population has given their lives over to conspiracy, and for them, that's fact now. Conspiracies are all fact.
I would agree. Yeah, that's right.
Started with Oliver Stone, the bastard.
And it's just been recently where he just stops swinging. I'm throwing in these big, slow, arcing pitches, and he just sits there, watches them go by. He won't swing at all.
Good for you. He's like doing Tai Chi with you.
Because we can see each other during Garage Logic. He'll say it, and then he'll go.
I'll sit back and go,
come on, do something.
You guys.
And it's great because Such never looks at the monitor. No. So we're doing a whole different show off the air.
They're mimes with each other, trying to imitate each other. Oh my God, John, you just look like Martin Short. Just like.
As you guys know, doing this show and prepping for this show has caused me quite a bit of consternation in the past.
Yes.
Except for this week, for some reason, I didn't give this show any thought at all till about 7:30 this morning.
Okay.
Not at all. And the reason I think I'm doing that is because I've recently started listening to and watching some podcasts from people that I like that might have YouTube channels. And I've realized these podcasts you're doing, they just suck. They're awful. And I came to the realization that the four of us could come in here, fart into the microphone for 40 minutes, and it would be better than what these idiots are doing.
Well, I can't speak for all podcasts, obviously, because that would be really stupid. There's some really good ones out there, but I think the thing that's different about us is that we're not enamored with ourselves anymore. Like that has completely gone away. Like none of us think what we say is golden or that anybody else couldn't do it.
Right.
We're not amused by ourselves. Like I could care less. I don't listen to this after. I don't listen back. I never listen back to anything I do because mostly if I did, I would just be super annoyed. I'd be like, shut up. About myself. I'm not, I think that because podcasts are like, people are so new to like saying, look at me, I can do this, and like, I'm a star, and we've been doing that for since we were maybe in our teens, as far as like talking. So now we're like I just said, like a lot of times I don't want to talk at all and I have to,
right.
But I don't think I'm special or different for doing this job. But I think that's the key to maybe being successful is you got to get over yourself and know that I'm not doing anything special. That's for sure.
And that's why I don't even want to do the podcast. I've got nothing to say. Seriously.
All right. Well,
isn't that evident? Isn't that evident from my contributions on GL? I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I was just going to say my favorite part sometimes of GL, Kenny, is when Joel will come up with this 5-minute, whatever about something, and nobody will say a word, and he'll look at us and go, Anyone? Nope. Sorry, Joe. I got nothing for you.
Oh, my gosh.
Kenny, I was going to say in your defense, you have nothing to say but can say it well. There are plenty of people who have a lot to say and can't say it at all.
Oh.
And those are the podcasts where you listen to and those people just hem and haw. And everybody, this sounds bad. Now, Don, I'm going to do your disclaimer. Everybody thinks they can do a podcast.
Yeah.
Then they start doing it, and after like 3 or 4, they either quit doing it or they massively slow how much they're releasing them. Because they do realize there is a little bit of work involved in what we do. Not a ton, but there's a little bit of work.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you think about Rogan then? He'll have on a guest that nobody's ever heard of. That's very specialized. Sometimes it's one of these MMA fight guys or a comedian nobody's heard of or heard from in years. And he'll talk to him for 2-3 hours. Now, do you think that's self-indulgence?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he's getting paid big bucks. But, just from being in terrestrial radio for so long, it's really good to know that how does it benefit the listener? Like, this interests me, but you're not going to, in my demographic, there are a lot of things that I don't talk about. There's so many things that I'm interested in, like, all the different wildflowers in the national park. Nobody gives an ass about that. I like it. I could sit there and read it for a couple of hours, but I'm not so arrogant to think that people want to hear about it. And that's where people go wrong. They get too arrogant and they think, oh, this is something that people want to hear. It's like, no, they don't. There's so many things that I toss out, for doing the normal Monday through Friday radio show I do.
Yeah.
Because people don't care about that. I do, but you have to be able to appeal to the audience.
I'm really reticent to criticize Rogan just because of his incredible success rate with this podcast. He's been doing it for a long, long time, much longer than most of us. And I always figure, well, he's got the listenership, the base, that there's got to be a great percentage of people that, in fact, are interested in the guest of the moment. You know what I mean?
Sure. But I think a lot of it has to do with just his celebrity, and people worship celebrities now.
Oh.
So they see him as a celebrity. So when you're listening to a podcast and you start to get to know the people, it's a very oh, they're my friends, or oh, you feel like you're in a club, because we don't have a sense of community anymore in our normal everyday lives. I think people have been so disconnected that when I'm listening to a podcast, just ones with maybe 3 comedians or something, I'm laughing along with them and it feels very personal. It feels like, oh, I'm in a group of people. Like, I literally think about the other listeners that are I'm looking around at people that aren't there thinking, I'm in a community of people that we all think this is funny and really like this. So it's that sense of community that you have, but you actually don't have to deal with other people, because then you would just go back to hating people.
Yeah.
It's like anonymous friends that are in a group. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the draws of Garage Logic, actually, in the podcast version of Garage Logic. It gives you a sense of place. And for me, despite what I might say just to get a laugh, it's fun being involved in that.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's fun. And a lot of it is inside baseball. And it was hard to more difficult to pull off on the radio than it is with a podcast.
That's because we've been discouraged to do that for so long, doing FM, AM radio.
Right. Dumb it down, background your listeners.
Too inside baseball.
Don't be too inside. Right. And get to the point quickly and get out, and here comes a break, and we'll be right back.
Exactly.
You know? Do you guys have... I'm pretty much done.
I was done before I started.
Yeah, I've said my quota.
I just want to add one thing that Kenny and John, you probably didn't see. Dawn was literally Lysoling her shoes for the last 15 minutes. I don't know how or why or for what reason.
I have these shoes on that are like, look, they're like cream colored, but they end up looking really dirty, and I get obsessed with like making sure I don't look like a bum coming in here.
You were doing the outside. You don't have stank foot.
No. Let me just see. It's a shoe that's it's like a cream colored shoe.
Give it a good whiff. Smell it.
Okay. Doesn't stink at all.
Oh.
No. Nope.
Right.
Well, no, because there's 8 pounds of Lysol wipe.
I'm sorry.
Seeping
oh God, I have a
through.
sickness. Yeah, I like to wipe things down with Lysol. Boy, that's a great way to end a podcast. Oh man, should we come back next week? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, bye guys.
I think we're done.
Thanks for listening to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop. New episodes drop every week wherever you get your podcasts.